on point 2 of the GameBeast podcast. Point 2 because we kind of lost the footage for the actual first recording, but never mind.
Saying any names, Kyle?
Not anyone's fault other than Kyle.
No, of course not.
How are we?
Doing good, man.
Yep,
Good,
doing
good.
good. Surviving.
Right. Surviving. I'm surviving. I had COVID last week. There's no evidence of that anymore, but I haven't got it anymore. We're all good. Bit of a tickly cough. But other than that, I'm okay. So, we'll start with a very brief introduction, even though we've already been over this. Parky, who are you?
Hey, bud. I'm Parky. Living a dream. Gaming since a little sprog. And yeah, man. Just
How old are you? I mean, I have no idea. Am I older than you? How old are you?
I am 32 years of age.
Holy shit, you're older than me. That makes you feel better. I'm the
It
middle
doesn't
child.
make me feel any better, thanks for that.
I'm the middle child of this sibling rivalry
You
that
are.
we've got going on. Kyle, youngster.
Yeah, I'm Kyle. I'm 28. Been gaming from a young age. Started on the Game Boy Color, I think was my first console, technically. And then,
I
Wow.
remember when that was released.
yeah,
I do too. I begged for it.
I had the sort of greeny, the odd off-green blue color.
Oh no.
You got the worst of the lot.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't.
got the
wasn't
dark
see-through.
blue.
I had the yellow one.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. The Pikachu style one.
Pretty basic, yeah.
I am Stu. 31. No, 31. Holy shit.
It's actually dangerous how long it took you to remember your age.
Memory lapse begins.
It shocks me that I'm 32 this year. It really does. It takes me by surprise. I still can't believe I turned 30. Again, been gaming since I was a kid. First console was a Sega Master System 2. It arrived second hand in a Barbie box, and I refused to open the box because I didn't believe my dad that it was a console. I thought he bought me a Barbie, and I was furious. So I lost an entire day's worth of gaming because I was a brat. No other way of putting it, really.
Well, he did still get you the Barbie, though, right?
Sadly not. No, I was robbed of the Barbie. I'm not sure why this particular random bloke at Dad's work back in the day sold him a Sega in a Barbie box, and it wasn't one of these small little Barbie doll boxes. We're talking like Dream Castle type thing. It was enormous, and it was full of games, wires, a console, and then some random shit that had nothing to do with the Sega. But I don't know. It's all gone. Lost to time now.
Disappointing.
Slightly disappointing, yeah. Right. Why are we together then, lads? We are trying to hand it a podcast, I guess. Enjoying talking about games. We don't spend enough time together anymore. There's no multiplayer games to speak of that we want to play. It's been ages since we've got together.
Yeah.
Except for last week, but we forgot about
Except
that.
for last week, yeah.
Trial though.
It's been ages.
It's been ages. It's been 7 days.
Almost years.
Hey, I was delirious last week. COVID gives you some pretty wacky fevers. But we're getting together to talk about games, gaming news, games we're playing, games we're looking forward to, games that we love. So, on that note, why don't we start with you, Parky, by telling us what is your favourite game genre and why?
It goes from JRPGs.
Shocker.
Yeah, surprising, right? Shooters and well, the occasional driving game, just a random do whatever you like GTA, that sort of.
Sandboxes, essentially.
Yeah, open worlds. You gotta love them.
Good stuff. But if you're gonna pick one, what would it be? I'm fairly confident I know the answer.
Gonna have to be the JRPGs, yeah.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Kyle, what about you?
When I used to have more free time, it's all about the MMORPGs.
Dedication.
Yeah,
all about the grind.
That was the one. But nowadays, pretty much anything. The odd puzzle game here and there, the odd strategy kind of game.
Whatever you could put an hour into, right?
Yeah. really.
Pick up and play, drop it whenever.
A lot of
Yeah.
story-based narrative kind of things, whether it's, like I don't know, just everything really. Third-person shooter, first-person shooter, anything with a good story.
Good story. Big fan of the Sony first party then.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Which is probably why we're here. Me, again, shocker. JRPGs are by far my favourite genre. It was my first foray into gaming, I guess. Proper gaming, not just crappy say, well, tell a lie. What is it? Wonder Boy in Monster World? That's kind of an RPG. That was my first Sega game, and it was awesome. Yeah, I think we're a bit of a group of weebs, but that's okay because we're going to dedicate sections to weeb. I don't know how much of a true weeb that Kyle is, but we will convert him.
I can, put.
You can weeb out.
Yeah, I can throw a few things in the ring and just sort of disappear again for another hour.
Right. So I'm curious to know if we're still playing the same as we were last week, which the audience won't know. But Barky, what are you playing?
Yeah, same old Rocket League, mate. For
Same
a
old Rocket League.
It's addictive.
Clearly.
You want to beat the other cars, man. You gotta. That's the same, yeah.
I still haven't picked it up. Oh, you didn't
Missing out,
convince me
brother.
last week. You still didn't convince me. I just can't. I can't get into it. I'm still very much of the opinion that it's like Fortnite, Rocket League, and Fortnite are. I see people play it. I see people build a mansion in less than 3 seconds. I see people do triple backflips in the air and score a goal from their own half.
Yeah, we can't all be professional.
No, clearly not. I'm just completely incompetent, obviously. What about you, Kyle? What are you playing?
At the moment, Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Days Gone, yeah.
That's new.
Yep, never got.
Not the game, I mean. That's new for you.
I never got around to playing it when it came out, and I was sort of in the mindset of, this looks like something I'd play, and then I just sort of other things came out around the same time, never started playing it. So I was on.
I have it as part of the PS Plus collection.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I did start playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, but kind of just started playing it and thought, fancy something else. And Days Gone sort of just popped its head up. It's one of those games where I think you need to put like probably about 4 hours in before it starts getting good. But I'm at that point now where it's pretty much storyline now. I've got enough upgrades to be all right at it. So yeah, it was a bit of a slow start. But it's a good game.
I'm interested in it. I'd be curious to know whether you'd recommend it. Like, I'll let you get in a bit further because obviously we've all got a finite amount of time these days. And also, my current game is still Dragon Quest XI. I thought I'd finished the game. The credits rolled. Genuinely, the credits rolled, and I have not finished the game.
No.
Because the credits roll at the end of Act 2. Who does that? They call Act 3 post-game. It's not post-game. It's well and truly the game. It's massive.
The story continues.
I, in air quotes, completed the game at 89 hours. I'm now on 112 hours. Still going.
I mean,
it's great. I'm not complaining.
Worth?
Oh, absolutely. I paid 15 quid for this game. So it's lasted me a long time, and it is excellent. And to be fair, the story after the end of the game, again in air quotes, it just gets better and better. Act 1 was kind of cool. Act 2, you'll know, Kyle, starts off weird as shit.
Yeah.
Like, so strange. I questioning my sexuality throughout half of that act. Act 3 is great. It kind of takes the story into. I won't spoil anything because just in case you ever pick it up again, Carl. But it kind of takes the story into a slightly different genre.
Yeah, you play the game and it's like, okay, this is what you're doing for the first storyline, and then you finish Act 1. It's like, oh, by the way, your main storyline wasn't really this. It's actually now this.
No.
And then Act 3 just overhauls the whole thing and says, actually, none of that really mattered anymore.
Exactly. That is exactly. It's 3 games in one. In fact.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of I don't know if anyone ever played it, but White Knight Chronicles 2. In the sense that White Knight Chronicles 1 was bundled into the disc version of White Knight Chronicles 2. Effectively, it wasn't a sequel, it was an extension of the actual game, but it was a full game, White Knight Chronicles 2. But you had to play the first one, else you wouldn't understand what's going on in the second. And your levels and stats carried over. They had a level cap on number 1, and as soon as you reached technically game 2, your level cap was increased to appropriately let you continue on your adventure, and all the new stuff was open and everything. But the story kind of like twisted on its head, and everything you knew about this world that you'd been playing for 90 hours in for the first game was all of a sudden everything was blown apart, and you're like, actually no, this is what's going on. And then the second game just flies away with it. It's great. If you ever get a chance to play White Knight Chronicles 2, might be slightly difficult because there was like online elements that the servers have been long shut down now, but it's such a good game. It really is. But it reminds me of that in the sense that Dragon Quest XI is effectively 3 games in one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So just finish it, Kyle. God damn it.
I'd have to go back to it and pick it up and then be like, oh, okay, this is where I was at, and then, I don't know.
But that is the trouble with those sort of games.
It is the trouble, and we briefly touched on this last time, that we're all quite guilty of picking up a JRPG that we haven't touched for a while and having to restart it. But the pure time investment into Dragon Quest prevented me from doing that, because I did put it down for a while. But I'd already spent 70 hours or so. So I just carried on. And to be fair, it's quite easy to pick up from where you left off, because it gives you like the story wrap up from where you left off last time, which is quite nice.
Yeah, Dragon Quest games have always been, you've always been able to sort of talk to your companions, haven't you? And when you talk to them, they generally tell you
exactly.
Where to go.
It knows that it's a really long game, and it knows you're not going to finish it in one sitting, or even one epilogue of sittings. But yeah, we'll move on, because we got bogged down in weeb news last time. Over news. So we'll move on to the actual news, and we are a little bit late coming to this because this is the second time we're discussing it, but we'll move on to our PlayStation wrap-ups. So, if you don't know, you can go to wrap-up, or one word, .playstation.com, and find your 2021 stats. So hours played, top games played, how many trophies you earned. And I think we'll just cycle through the 3 of us and find out exactly how long we've played and what we've been playing. So do you want to kick it off, Parky?
Yeah, my old one's 1,533 hours, so checking that time in there.
Checking that time, you beat me, and I'm distraught.
But apparently 89% of that time has been on PS4 games.
Yes.
You buy a PS5 just to go back.
It's pretty weird. It's pretty hard to get a PS5 to begin with. So.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think the only PS5 game I played was the PS5 iteration of the Cyberpunk.
Ah, interesting. See, I'm holding out on Cyberpunk until the next gen patch comes out, current gen patch, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
What was your?
Like I said, top game.
Yes.
523 hours spent on the old League of Rocket.
I can't find out how you can spend so much time not kicking a ball, but driving into one.
Hey man, like I said, it's addictive and it is fun.
You sure you didn't just fall asleep?
Once you get past, your bronze league blues, and start actually being able to do stuff, it's fun to do.
Yeah, but then you got to get good. I've got no intention of getting good.
Nah, you don't have to get good. Just slightly better than not bad.
Just not atrocious.
Not atrocious. Right, okay. What about you, Kyle? How long have you played?
Well, honestly, 50 hours.
Asterix.
Just 50 hours. But as we kind of discovered last week as well, sadly, I'm not sure what happened, but something went wrong with my wrap-up. I mean...
Yeah, you decided to stop playing the PlayStation altogether.
Well, no, because I put way more hours in.
You emotionally scarred the wrap-up.
I went back and I revisited like the Crash trilogy and Spyro games. I'm pretty sure I went through all them. There was even the odd, just occasionally a couple of hours. I definitely racked up more than 50 hours to the point where it lists obviously your top 5 games that you played, etc. And one of them is a game that I didn't start playing until this year, which is It Takes Two, and I had 2 hours in that. Now my top played game was Far Cry 5, and I think I had about 25 hours in that, which I'd probably believe. That's a bit more accurate. I did play a lot of Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
But
did you finish it?
Yes, yeah, finished it. Yep. It was a little bit glitchy. Probably not the best of the Far Cry games, to be honest. But
Are you interested in the new one, or?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't really been properly invested in a Far Cry since sort of Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 and then Far Cry 3.
2?
Yeah.
I was going to say Far Cry 3 was really the height for me, I think. I really enjoyed 3.
Yeah. I mean, I picked it up.
One trophy away from the platinum on Far Cry 3, and I can never get it because it was a co-op trophy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That sucks.
But Far Cry 3 is definitely one of the best in the series. But yeah, my PlayStation wrap-up was not very good because it all got a bit glitchy. So some games that I didn't play until 2022 have thrown their way in there with an hour played, which is a bit odd considering I've played 4 or 5 hours of something else.
Slightly inaccurate.
Yeah.
Never mind. We'll move on to me.
Yeah, what about you?
Slightly, it's a bit more, I don't know.
Upbeat.
Appropriate. Upbeat. Appropriate. 1,240 hours total. Which is pretty much expected, really. 73% of that was PS4. So that's 908 hours. 332 hours on the PS5. I didn't get my PS5 until June last year. And I've not turned on my PS4 since, to be fair. Top played game. Yeah, well, no. I can do everything on the PS5. The only thing I didn't do was re-download Warzone because it takes up the entire SSD.
Can confirm.
Absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. My top played game isn't Warzone. That was my second played game. Somehow. My first top game was, embarrassingly, Genshin Impact. A free-to-play anime waifu, full-on weeb game.
Yeah.
Complete weeb game.
Free-to-play games, man, they just suck you in.
They do. I mean, they're designed that way. I've got to log in every single day if I want the resources I want. That's it. Yeah, and it takes so long. It takes so long to grind for wishes to get new characters. I refuse to pay any money because I'm cheap. Me and you, Parky, we both play Opera Omnia Final Fantasy on the mobile.
What a game! What a game!
The only mobile phone game that I have ever been willing to put any time into. It's excellent, but the gacha system in that is so generous. I've never had to spend a penny.
Yeah.
The gacha system in Genshin Impact is not generous at all. You can grind for a solid week, earning the in-game currency for a chance, and a very slim chance of that, to try and get what you want off a banner. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, whereas Opera just gives
it just throws shit at you. Yeah, it just throws.
New characters, one more, there you go, have it.
Yeah, not once have they given me a free pull on Genshin Impact. I don't know why I still play. I'm addicted. I've got a problem.
At least you've been the first step.
The worst thing is that they've patched it so that whenever you pan the camera downwards, it blurs the camera out. So I'll leave that up to your imagination why that's a problem.
Okay, I think we should move on from that.
We'll move on to more weeb related news because 31st of January this year, can you believe it? The 25th anniversary of the Final Fantasy VII JP release. 25 years.
Doesn't that make you feel old?
It makes me feel old.
Isn't it also 30 years of the whole franchise?
Yes. My God. So, are we all? Well, I know Park is. Are we all Final Fantasy VII fans? Are we all as hardcore as I am to name my son after a character from Final Fantasy VII.
Would you like me to drop the bombshell on episode 1/episode 2?
Oh my god, you've never played it.
I have never played Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god!
I have watched a couple of clips about it, and I kind of get the general gist of what happens and who dies and all that, but I've never really been bothered to go.
Wait, who dies? No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on what version you're watching.
That's true. Wow, I did not know that.
No.
I did not know I was friends with someone so.
I mean, it was one of those. I knew it was popular, and when I learned how popular it was, everybody played it. I couldn't really go back because we were in sort of PS3 era, and I didn't want to go back to a PS1 game to try and play it where I knew it'd just be a very long game to play.
I played it close. I played it close to release. What about you, Parker? Did you play it when it came out, or did you?
Yeah, the original, the 4 discs.
4 discs, black discs.
Joy.
Excellent.
You know, those blocky.
Wait, 4 discs, people. 3 discs. It was 3 discs.
3 discs, yeah, 4 discs.
3 discs.
Final Fantasy 9 as well, I think.
Yeah.
It was 4 discs, yeah.
Back when things couldn't fit on a single disc. However, I did learn. This is still technically on topic. I played Final Fantasy VII so much as a kid that my disc 2 and disc 1 stopped working. But if you put it in and let the disc read error come up, and then you put disc 3 in, it'll just play the game. Because the only information on each disc is cutscenes. So whenever it came to a cutscene, it would just blink black and then continue on with the game. So,
same thing happened to my first disc, yeah.
Yeah, so as a desperate, how old was I? 8-year-old? 7 year? It came out when I was 7, but by the time my disc was broken, I was about 8, 9. As a desperate 8, 9-year-old, still playing this game years after I'd finished it multiple times, I just started cramming discs and hoping it would work, and lo and behold, it did. So there you go. If anyone's ever got any broken Final Fantasy VII discs, you know what to do.
Get a new one.
No, I didn't have any money when I was a kid. But 25 years. Obviously, we've had the remake in recent years. What year did that come out now? Was it 2019?
2020.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that. But anyway, so we've obviously had
2020.
2020. Oh wow. Oh yeah, it's 2022 now, isn't it? Oh
10th
god.
of April,
Where's the time
2020.
going? Christ. So we've had the remake. The buzz around Final Fantasy VII is alive and well. Everyone loves it. I don't acknowledge people that don't. I'm very much in my own echo chamber when it comes to Final Fantasy VII. Everyone loves it, as far as I'm concerned.
Everybody. Yeah.
Everybody loves it. So
Can't comment.
we had. You will. Surely you played the remake. Did you play the remake?
I did not play the remake.
Oh.
The knowledge
We're
of
gonna have
Final
to find a
Fantasy
new third man.
extends to. I played Final Fantasy 12 as a kid. Loved it. Played 13. Was kind of. Yeah, I understood why everybody didn't like it. I personally didn't mind it. Wasn't what I'd call a Final Fantasy game. It was very linear and not very open, but as you do. And then played a bit of online, which is 14.
The online was fun.
Yeah, loved a bit of 14 when I was at uni. Did that instead of uni work.
And then played 15, and that was great.
15 was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still 15. Yet to finish 15.
Well, you'll get the good ending. I finished it before they changed the last chapter, and I've never gone back because I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I played it enough to get the platinum on it. I thought it was great. So, we've obviously had statements from the key figures of the original Final Fantasy. So we've got statements from Kitase and Nomura. Nomura also famous for the batshit crazy Kingdom Hearts series saga.
Yeah.
Their statements seem to indicate that maybe we're going to be getting something soon this year, announcement-wise. Also, and this is what I wanted to bring this on to. Have you seen the logos for the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary?
Yeah, with 3 main men.
3 main men. This means nothing to Kyle. My God. So
Yeah.
we've got Cloud, who in this logo looks suspiciously like Sora.
Yep.
A bit too much,
Little bit.
I think.
Yeah. So we've got Cloud and Zack in the loving embrace of Sephiroth's wing, the famous one-winged angel. Zack, obviously, is the character I named my child after, but don't tell his mother. These 3 are obviously, well, obviously to me and you, Barky, the protagonists / slight antagonist of Crisis Core series. Do you think, maybe, at long last, we might be seeing some form of re-release of Crisis Core, which has never, to my knowledge, come to a main console base?
It might be a hint. Or it could be a hint to the upcoming.
I mean, I'm pinching the image now. I'm zooming in to Cloud, and this is post Crisis Core Cloud because of the pauldron on his shoulder. This isn't his Shinra regular scrub military getup. This is post Zack Cloud. But the 3 of them together are surely going to mean something as part of it.
Maybe we might see Zack in the Final Fantasy VII remake second
in the remake, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Imagine that.
Spoiler. At the end of remake, of course, we have a glimpse of what could be an alternate timeline. We don't know. It's only a flash. But we did see Zack alive and well.
We did indeed.
I'm still holding hope for a Crisis Core re-release, remake, anything, remaster. Just something I can play on a base console because I do not have a PSP. But we'll see. We'll move on from this. So, the big news in the last few weeks was obviously the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So Phil Spencer announced this on what was it, the 18th of January? It was January, wasn't it? We'll only touch on this briefly because it's getting old a bit now. What do you think? What are our general thoughts? We'll start with you, Kyle. What do you reckon to this? Good news, bad news, concerning, not concerning at all?
I don't know. Kind of. It's been a weird one so far this year. So it's like,
yes, it has.
I'm sort of just sitting on the fence, rocking back and forth, like it would be a good idea.
With your thumb in your mouth.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those. I suppose you just have to wait and see what happens. To be honest, you can speculate all you want, but until something physically happens,
until it happens, you don't know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, very true. Okay. Well, you're right. What about you, Parky? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm all right with it. You know, it forced Sony to do obviously what they're now doing, which is probably
well,
on in a bit. But
I'll touch on that in a minute. I've got thoughts about that.
But yeah, I'm happy, man. It gives Sony a chance to go back to its roots, the smaller companies and the more, fun, fired out games. See something new in the gaming industry rather than just loads of the same game coming out constantly year after year.
COD every year. Yeah.
I
mean, COD's fine. I'm more on the fence now than I was before about this acquisition. I think obviously the main takeaway is it's going to be great for the staff, who it's been widely reported have been badly mistreated for a number of years, well, for many years, decades. Bobby Kotick's on the way out, beast of a man. It was interesting to see Phil Spencer's statement to say, which was in direct contrast to the Bethesda takeover, the ZeniMax Bethesda takeover, where they effectively said they would be not independent, but their management would remain in place. They would run their company as they were and continue producing games. The only difference would be was that most of these games would now be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, not necessarily the console, because we've got Game Pass on PC and whatnot. Yeah. The contrast was that Phil, in a statement, said that Activision would, after the acquisition, is finalised, would report to him as CEO. So, to me, that's a clear message that Microsoft's intention is to, rip up the weeds in the company. I think HR will probably be ejected entirely for their failings, and whatever Microsoft has in the respect of
by the
HR will
big
take
monster
over.
that is Micro.
Yeah. I think certain management figures will find their way to the door, either quietly or maybe, probably quietly. I reckon a lot of these people will be
quietly
leaving.
with a big pocket full of cash, I think is.
Such as Bobby Kotick's almost $400 million golden parachute.
Sorry,
it's a shame.
Let you go.
Yeah, ever so sorry, sir. Go and be rich for the rest of your life. Not that you're already rich enough. I think the great shame is that before this acquisition was announced publicly, obviously before Mike Ibarra and Jen O'Neill were made joint was it joint CEO or no, I can't remember the title they gave him. They effectively headed up Blizzard as a joint pair after oh god, what was his name? He was the guy that led up Blizzard before. Anyone remember his name? Let me do a quick Google.
Good old Google. You couldn't do this back then, could you?
No, absolutely not. God, his name's completely escaped me. No, J. Allen Brack, that was it. The slimy worm that is J. Allen Brack with his fake apologies. He was ejected. Well, he wasn't. He, in air quotes, left. Jen O'Neill, Mike Ibarra took over. Jen O'Neill left in an outrageous story after the whole sexism scandal and abuse scandal of Activision. She left because she found out she was getting paid less than her co-leader. So even after the shitstorm of sexism and abuse scandals and accusations of unfair pay and treatment to women and people of colour, they had the balls to pay Jen O'Neill less for the same role, and she left. And rightly so at the time. However, if she'd have just hung on for a little bit longer, she'd have been making some serious bank right now.
Yeah, she would have been sorted, wouldn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure that is not what her main goal was. She left for good reason. She left to support a women's institute.
Which you can't fault, really.
No, absolutely not. No, she may well have known. Oh, I don't know. I think she left before the talk started with Microsoft, because obviously we know now that Activision approached potential buyers, and I suppose it's a good thing that it's Microsoft that bought Activision rather than Tencent, because then we'd have really watered down, censored versions of Call of Duty because the Chinese influence.
Yeah.
Not the Chinese people, obviously, the CCP, who are well known for censoring everything, and are probably
shooting everyone
the reason,
with a foam finger.
The CCP are, in my mind, probably the reason that Finn was not the main character of the newer Star Wars trilogy, and I am 100% certain he was supposed to be. But the new development in this is that the Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, is reportedly stepping in to assess the acquisition, really. Now, this isn't abnormal. You usually work in tandem with, I believe it's the Justice Committee? I'm not sure. I'm not sure on American law. English law, fine. I'm at you. Good with English law. American law, not so much. But it's unusual the Federal Trade Commission takes up these things alone. I don't know what this means. What are our thoughts on this? Do you think that this acquisition could be in trouble? What do you reckon, Parky?
I think they're just going in for just to make sure it's not a forced buy. Nothing dodgy is going on in the background. You know what I mean? It's kind of random. It is very random, but
I think the main reason they're stepping in is for it's I think it's centered around antitrust laws, so making sure that there's still a competitive market.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Kyle? Do you think there's trouble on the horizon, or do you think this is just all part of the course?
It's a bit of, again, it's a bit of both. It's too early to start speculation on anything happening, really.
I mean, if it got stopped, all the worry would be out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
just stop buying other companies. Problem solved.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be stopped. I think if you look at other areas of the media entertainment business, Disney owns everything on the planet, and antitrust laws haven't stepped in to stop Disney yet. I think Microsoft is just fine. Yes, they've bought an enormous publisher. They haven't bought every enormous publisher yet. They've bought a large publisher and a very, very large publisher. I think it's unusual that the FTC stepped in alone. I don't know what that means. Like I said, I'm not familiar with American law. We'll see. Like you both say, we'll see. It could be good, it could be bad. Well, in air quotes, good, bad. Is it bad that the acquisition stopped? Not for PlayStation gamers, I guess. My immediate thought... Go ahead.
Everybody sees everything as an immediate knee-jerk reaction. Obviously, we'll probably get onto it in a bit, but it's not an overnight thing that somebody just decides to buy out a company. There's months and months of planning about it.
Exactly, yeah. Which is what I'm going to come on to on the next point as well, yeah.
Yeah, because of the revelation that's come out recently, which we might as well now segment into.
Yeah, okay, we'll go into that. So obviously, you're on about the Sony acquisition of Bungie.
Bungie, yeah, boy.
Bungie.
Who made the best Halo games. I would say arguably, but not arguably.
Made the best Halo games.
Yeah.
Destiny.
And Destiny.
Nothing to argue about it. Destiny, of course. I can't... Yes, they did arguably make the best Halo games. No, they definitely made the best Halo games. I've never been a massive fan of Halo. Destiny, on the other hand. How many thousands of hours have we put into Destiny together?
Too many.
Too many. Parky, not so much. You weren't around at the time. More so Division for us three together.
Yeah, good old Division.
Destiny
back
1,
in the day,
from the beginning, all the way through the DLCs, to Destiny 2, to most of the DLCs, until just before it went free to play.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm still of the mind that acquisitions aren't inherently good. I think that there's an importance in having third parties in the industry. I think there's an importance in remaining creative independence. However, as has obviously been widely reported with this Bungie acquisition, it seems as though Bungie are maintaining most, if not all, of their creative independence, even after the acquisition is finalised. I don't know if either of you read on this, but it seems as though Bungie games are going to be staying multiplat, and Bungie are going to get final say on their creative decisions.
Yes.
Which is obviously... It's not really in line with what they had with their 10-year deal with Activision, which they famously managed to buy themselves out of. What do you think? Do you think we are going to see...
Sony's just a hand in the pocket, really, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Here's a big bag of money. We trust you to get on with whatever you want to do. Just make it good.
Make it good.
Yeah. Maybe we might get some Halo games cross-platform, like you said, and
I doubt it. I mean, I don't even think they own the IP to Halo anymore, do they?
We
might get some. Let's get some
Halo-esque
light games, Halo-esque game. But isn't that just Destiny?
Or maybe Oni. Do you remember that old school game, Oni?
Oni, yes.
Yeah, they made them as well. So
I completely forgot about that.
343.
I do think
Halo.
Yeah,
which is a
I thought it might be
studio.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it's Microsoft themselves and the IP. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But Bungie own their own IP. As far as the reports go, they will remain the owners of their IP. So if they do ever split from Sony for whatever reason, like they did with Microsoft, they got out of they bought themselves out from Microsoft. And that should be noted as well. This was obviously one of the launch studios for the Xbox, famously, the original Halo, launched the Xbox into the stratosphere as far as market. Bungie was there at the beginning. They left. They hooked up with Activision for a while. They left. Is this deal forever? Is the third marriage the golden marriage? What do you reckon?
We're gonna have to find out in the future, innit? Like, if they're just jumping around, yeah, they've done it twice before. It might be able to give them another boost, but who would they go to if they were going to leave?
The sweetest deal they've signed. I want to know whether you two think that the wording of this third-party future, do you reckon this applies specifically to Destiny, or do you think every Bungie game will be third-party going forward? Will there be any Bungie exclusive for the PlayStation, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, I hope so. Yeah. It would be sweet.
It'd be good for Sony, but in terms of the way that Bungie runs things, probably not. I mean, they've made Destiny. They kind of know what they're doing with Destiny. It makes money. Why would you just, solidify that into a single platform? Why would you not open it up to every platform? I'm sure they probably have it for the Nintendo Switch if they could.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure they would if it would run on that hunk of junk. Oh, that was mean. We've got a Switch in the house and it's just fine for kids games.
It works for Mario.
It works. Somehow it runs The Witcher 3. I will never know how. But, yeah, so I don't know. Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion. I'm certain that Destiny 2 will stay multi-platform. They've said that. They've confirmed it. I don't know whether the resources at hand now would mean that they're able to expand to a Destiny 3. I hope so. Obviously, Destiny 2's long life was due to the way that it's slightly moved to a live service style game. It's got a battle pass, well, a season pass, if you will. It's got a microtransaction store. A lot of these things were kind of baked in during development as part of the Activision Bungie relationship. Do you think that there will be a Destiny 3? I'll come to both of you individually for this. Do you think there'll be a Destiny 3? Do you think it will be, if there is, a live service style model again? And do you think it will be exclusive or multi-plat? So, Parky, do you think there'll be a Destiny 3?
I don't think there will be.
In it? You don't?
I think this is going to be
Destiny 2 forever?
I think there might be. It might just keep updating Destiny 2, make it multi-platform, keep it as it is. But I reckon they might be thinking of a new game.
Yeah. Oh, well, we know there's
a
game in development. We know there's we know there's a live service game in development. We don't know what it is though. Fairly sure it's going to be multi-platform as well, but we're not too sure on any other projects down the line. Do you want it to be? Do you want a Destiny 3?
After hearing all the, about the... Well, I'd never played Destiny, but I hear things and they weren't all good.
No. There was certainly some low moments. When Destiny 2
when
came
they started vaulting all their stuff, so people couldn't get what everyone else had, it was upper hand for them. But,
paid content being vaulted. Okay, interesting. I have a point on that I'll come to. Kyle, what do you reckon? Do you think no? Absolutely not. No Destiny 3.
I refuse.
Okay.
No,
do you want a Destiny 3?
I don't think they'll be able to. I reckon Destiny 2 will carry on for about another 3 years with a couple of DLCs to keep them going. And I don't think there'll be a Destiny 3. I think there'll be a new game. They'll probably come out. It'll be multi-platform, and it'll probably be just a timed exclusive for, say, PlayStation.
Okay, interesting.
Because the Destiny train has gone as far as it can go, and I think a Destiny 3 would just be slightly ridiculous.
the final nail. Yeah.
I disagree with both of you. I want a Destiny 3, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm so far removed from Destiny 2 that I cannot possibly catch up. And it's very selfish of me, but I want a Destiny 3 because then for everyone it's a fresh start
again. Yeah.
We went through the whole controversy of, I'm losing everything from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. Oh, that's not fair. Well, yeah, all right, fair enough. You're starting the game again. But it was woven into the story. Why? Which newer players will never get to play. They've vaulted the Red War. So you lose all your powers, you lose all your gear because everything gets blown up, is the short of it in Destiny 2. Destiny 3... I want a Destiny 3 for that selfish reason that I want everyone to start again so I don't have to catch up.
Yeah, but do you not think
I don't know where they'd take the story.
You might as well just create a new game. Could be similar. It could be
could
Space
be.
Pirates again, but...
It could be, but I was so involved with Destiny 1, and I tried my hardest to be involved with Destiny 2 as part of the group that we played with, but it just didn't resonate with me the same, and then I dropped off, and then it got really good. It got so good, and I missed out. I think there will be a Destiny 3. I'm gonna hedge my bets on that. I think there will be a Destiny 3. I don't think it'll be soon. I think they'll finish off their plans with Destiny 2. I cannot see them dropping this franchise, but I can't see them continuing Destiny 2 with the framework that it has forever, like World of Warcraft, for instance. World of Warcraft is, in my opinion, far too old now. It could have done with being wrapped up. Not wrapped up per se, but, this is the last thing of World of Warcraft. Enjoy for as long as you're going to stick around.
I was never a World of Warcraft person.
Neither was I. No, okay. World of Warcraft wasn't really for me either, but I know plenty of people that dedicate their lives to World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I was a little into it, and everybody realised after the Mists of Pandaria, I think it was, that everything just started going a little bit downhill. It got a bit too far-fetched. Got a bit too. Yeah. This isn't World of Warcraft, to the point where ACTI-BLIZZ, or it might have been Blizzard just on their own at that point, went back on their word and said, originally it was, we're not going to have, the old school, the vanilla servers, vanilla WoW, to which they went back on their word later because they realised that more people would probably play vanilla WoW than the regular WoW.
Yeah. And then went back on their word again and made balancing changes to vanilla WoW.
Yep. And then everybody got fed up and left for Final Fantasy Online. So
yeah, Final Fantasy 14, which in my mind has done the right thing by saying this is the end of the story. This next DLC release, that's the end. I don't know what their plans are beyond that. I can imagine it's probably another Final Fantasy Online. Because they would be dumb not to.
I mean,
the amount of goodwill and the amount of money that game has made, 14 specifically, the amount of money that's made Square Enix is incomprehensible.
Yeah, when you think about it.
And even to this day, it's still not on Xbox. How has that happened? It's madness. But anyway, I digress. We've gone completely off track here. I think there will be a Destiny 3. I don't think they have bought Bungie to not capitalise on the Destiny IP. I don't think it'll be exclusive. I think it'll be multi-platform. However, in all of their statements, they say multi-platform. They don't say it'll be available on all consoles. Multi-platform is also PC. Wording very carefully, because whenever you look at Phil Spencer's wording, he said that he's not going to take things away from communities. And what he meant by that is you'll still get your old games, but you're not getting any of our new ones.
Yeah, that's quite accurate translation.
Yeah. I wonder whether Bungie's commitment to multi-platform is PlayStation and PC. What do you think?
That'd be great.
You Sony pony.
Hey, man.
I mean, It would
I
make
like
sense.
the PC players. I like the PC players. Xbox. I mean, I used to be one. Not gonna lie, when I was 12. But when I was younger,
Not a foolish child.
But I wouldn't mind playing games with the PC people.
Yeah,
The
I mean, PC
Xbox,
crossplay is
I
already been
can't
done.
deal with the screaming as much.
You
see some videos out there of the 12-year-old squeaky
increase
Xbox people.
of screaming children whenever you play crossplay with Xbox. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I
mean, I get it. Every console has them. Probably not PC actually. They tend to be a bit more older boarded, unless it's like weird online games, like
when you're at the
Flash
point of
games and stuff.
Yeah, when you're at the point of being able to afford a gaming PC, you're not really a 12-year-old child anymore, are you?
No,
there you go.
But let's try not to alienate maybe a third of whoever could be listening to this podcast. We love Xbox, we do. We just don't own it, and,
We just don't own it. That's why we don't love it.
No.
I think
because we don't have
their
I'm trying
word
to be
in a
fair.
multi-platform might just turn out to be PC, PlayStation, and potentially whatever this, Project Sparkus could be.
Yes, because we don't know if that's going to be console exclusive, do we?
Yeah, because Game Pass is kind of like you can play it on your PC and anybody can kind of play it. And I know they want to try and get Sony to integrate it at some point.
Yeah. Well, it was the whole conversation around the Xbox ecosystem that got me thinking about this word in a multi-platform. Because what does multi-platform mean anymore? Multi-platform doesn't mean every platform.
No,
it means
two.
More than one platform.
Yeah.
And two is more than one.
So
and they did word that very carefully.
It could be on PlayStation and mobile phone. Because
it could be.
Mobile gaming is now insane.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we want to see from Bungie other than Destiny? Obviously, we've got a distinct lack of first-person shooters on PlayStation. We've got excellent game studios like Santa Monica Studios. We've got Housemarque that made Returnal, which was incredible. I love Returnal. If you haven't played it, play it.
I haven't got it out the plastic wrapping.
It's so good. It's so good. You will hate it for the first 10 hours. You will hate it. And then you will love it. It went from my worst game of the year to my game of the year. So good. I highly recommend it. Sony Santa Monica. We've got Housemarque. We've got Insomniac. All excellent studios that make excellent games. Ratchet & Clank, one of my all-time favourites. But Guerrilla now makes Horizon. I don't think we're going to see another Killzone for a while. They're working, I think, on an FPS at the moment. We don't know if it's Killzone or not. So Bungie, do you think that Bungie are going to be the answer to our FPS woes?
I think they should stick with what they're doing, to be honest with you. They know how to make a good, floaty, first person.
They do know how to make a good first person.
Yeah.
They do. I think the shooting mechanics of Destiny are probably second to none. I'd even say that they're even better than Call of Duty.
Yep, stick with it. Just change the characters, change the storyline, keep the genre, do it again.
Still in space?
They could be wherever it was. It could be on a bouncy trampoline moon planet for all I care.
Do what you used to, innit? I mean, most of their games are space driven.
Okay.
Keep them there.
Well, we know that Sony's plan, from reports from today, I believe, are that they have a 10-year view for live service games. We like live service games. We all like The Division. That's how we all, well, except for me and Carl. We, as a group, as a 3, and plus more that have not been invited because we don't want to get blacklisted immediately. We all met through The Division. Division 1, Division 2, live service game. Are we excited for more live service games? Do we think we're going to get live service games from Bungie? Or are they going to be... We know there's going to be more acquisitions, but are they going to be live service?
They need to bring out more live service games, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, just by nature, they're ongoing, and they'll give us plenty to play, reason to get together, even if it's just staring at the same room for 6 hours trying to clear a raid room.
Looking at you, Division 2.
Looking at you, Division 2. That furnace. Oh my god. Crucible. Alright then.
At least in Destiny, you could stand around and jump around for a bit, and it was a bit more entertaining than just running in circles like in Division.
That's very true. Well, this is another reason I want Destiny 3, because I don't think I'll be able to convince our lot to start playing Destiny 2. I might be able to convince you, Kyle, but then I'd need to convince myself.
I'm convinced.
I don't think. Oh, fair enough. I don't think I'd convince you, Parky. There's no way.
Too much now. There's no way.
Despite how excellent it is, and it is, I can't even convince myself to pick it up and catch up. So like... convincing you, convincing Kyle, convincing Alex even. I don't think we're going to get together as a group. But Destiny 3, I think would be.
You'd need to pick it up and all have brand new characters and play it as if you'd never,
But that's the problem. You can't, can you? Because they've got rid of the Red War. They've got rid of Forsaken. Forsaken's pretty much where I dropped it.
Yep.
And it was the best part of the story, Forsaken. New players aren't going to be able to experience that, and I think that renders it completely pointless for any newcomers. I think the player base of Destiny 2 is as it is now, and it will only dwindle. I don't think there'll be that much new players, unless they just don't care about story. I think Destiny 3 would be the prime time to say, Parky, Alex, Kyle, me, whoever else we speak to. Paul, maybe not. Sorry, Paul. Let's play Destiny 3 together. I'll be a space fairy. Let's go.
That's inside and outside the game, folks. That's inside and out.
Yes. So, we'll move on from this. We know what we're looking forward to. We kind of have a grasp on what we're expecting from Bungie, I guess. It's definitely going to be live services. Multi-platform, we don't know really what it means. I don't think it means on Xbox. I don't think that Sony are going to drop 3.6 billion to feed their competition. Unless it's already out, such as Destiny 2. We'll move on briefly, and then we'll wrap it up shortly. Sony State of Play tonight. GT7. Half an hour GT7 showcase. Are any of us excited about this? Are you excited about this, Parky?
I used to play the original GTs. They were good. They served their purpose. I haven't played past. I think the last one I bought was probably 5.
Oh right, okay. More recent than me then.
Yeah, which is probably more than most people.
Yeah,
I remember 1, 2, and maybe a little bit of 3. I'm talking sort of PS1, PS2 games, and that was it.
Yeah. 1, 2 mainly, 3 a little bit. That's my experience with GT. GT7 on the other hand looks pretty good. And I think I was telling you last week I was playing through Dirt 5, which was PS Plus game, and it was really good. It had a bit of story in it, and it was just put your foot down and go. It was great. I don't really like racing games, but I quite enjoyed Dirt 5. I don't know whether I'm looking forward to GT7. I think I'll probably watch the Sony State of Play and maybe my decision. Yeah. It definitely won't be a day one purchase for me.
Like other games that are coming up.
Such as what?
Final Fantasy 16, guys. Come on.
Let's Final Fantasy 16. When are we going to hear more about Final Fantasy 16?
I reckon it's going to be mid-year.
Mid-year?
We'll hear more. Probably be an end-of-year purchase if Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2 isn't out by then.
I don't think we're going to see Final Fantasy 16 this year. I don't. I think it's going to be early next year.
I mean, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan through and through, so
yep.
I'm more interested in Kingdom Hearts, to be honest with you. But
my god, I really like Kingdom Hearts, but
I've only played all of them.
Yeah,
I can't say anything about it.
Kingdom Hearts is great. I ain't got a fucking clue what's going on. I've tried to read the wiki, and I've made spreadsheets to try and explain the story to myself. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, the fact that you've acknowledged that means that you are a true fan and you do understand it. It doesn't make sense. There you go.
That is the story. It doesn't make sense.
Are you looking forward to Final Fantasy 16, Kyle?
Are
you going to dive into this one? You enjoyed 15. I think you'll enjoy 16. It's not the same, but
I'll probably just watch the trailer and watch a couple of people play the first couple of hours of it and then decide.
Or are you going to go towards Hogwarts?
Ooh,
Hogwarts Legacy.
That's interesting.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Or even Gotham Knights, you know, a Gotham game without Batman. But it's not confirmed that it won't be happening. But
I am more looking forward to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Actually. Because
that's so good.
It's a game I've missed, but Guardians of the Galaxy I've only heard excellent things about, and I really want to play it. Even though it looked awful when they first showcased it. And Suicide Squad screams more of the same to me. It looks so similar in the way it plays that I think I'd probably enjoy it. Gotham Knights, I'm not that hot on. I don't know why. I like Batman.
I prefer games without all the hype train going towards them.
Yeah,
whereas I feel Suicide Squad might just get too much, you know.
Maybe. We haven't really seen all that much. I don't know what it was about it. It just kind of caught my eye. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a day one purchase for me. Definitely.
It's going to be
really
a day minus 20, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if there's a early pre-order option, I'm going for it. It's obviously from the creative minds of Final Fantasy 14, and Final Fantasy 14 is probably one of the highest critically acclaimed games, and one of the best success stories ever in gaming. From a catastrophic failure to being shut down to being the best MMO on the market. You just could not make it up. I mean, I don't even know. I'm assuming you know about this, Carl, that was shut down and everything, but did you, Parky?
No, I didn't.
Right, well, short tale. Final Fantasy 14 came out, and it was shit.
It was. That's why I stopped playing it.
Yeah, but did you stop playing it when it actually came out and it was good, or are you really critical? Because I
haven't gone back to it. I'm sorry, guys.
They baked it into the story. They blew up the world. They scrapped the original version of Final Fantasy 14 because it was so bad. They blew up the world as part of the story, and then the new Final Fantasy
that's
14
normally
came out.
Final Fantasy stories in a nutshell.
Yeah, all right, fair enough, whatever. But my point is, it was a catastrophic failure, and then it was one of the best things on the market. And I am so sad that I don't have time to play it. I really am, because I would be on it day and night if I did.
Yeah, if we all had the time of our youth, it would be such a great game to get into. Like, you see some of the mechanics, you see the raids, you see the just the storyline.
Yeah. The fact that it's a good story for an MMO as well, a coherent story. Yeah, incredible. And it excites me that this is the mind behind Final Fantasy 16, because that can only mean good things. And it won't have the time commitment that an MMO has. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, we do seem to put hundreds of hours into games, whether they're MMO or not. So
you've got to remember with an MMO, there's that certain aspect of FOMO, isn't there? You don't want to miss out. You don't want to fall behind your friends. You want to gear at the same time. You want to do the new content when it comes out. At least with a single player game, you've got the game. Like with me with Dragon Quest 11, I spent 120 odd hours on that now, but I've been doing it over almost a year now. And I haven't fallen behind because I'm not competing with anyone. But I digress. Again, slight thing to mention before we wrap up and come to the closing comments. You can use Discord on PlayStation now, or at least you can integrate your PlayStation account with Discord. Are we going to use this?
I mean,
I will.
Yeah. I will.
I
think I will.
In terms of MMORPGs and stuff.
Yeah,
like during when we used to play Destiny and the first
Oh my god.
You know, no raid finder, so you used to have to troll through like Reddit posts and join different Discords to get people to join.
And then your PSM friend list was endless because of all the randoms you had to add. At least you could talk to people through Discord now, and then just get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly. If you can do that now, it kind of streamlines it for things like that. But also, you know, if there are some games that are crossplay, like I think even stuff like Elder Scrolls Online, I'm not sure if that's crossplay.
I think it is.
I think it might be now, potentially. But
yeah, it at least opens that avenue to be able to talk to people on Xbox.
Yeah, or
we were always able to kind of chat with people on PC through game chat, I guess, and Xbox. But at least now we can actually have a dedicated room to talk to people on PC and Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would have been kind of handy on
Back in the day.
and stuff like that. Back in the day, yeah. Is there a PlayStation Discord app? Is there an app available on the PlayStation? I haven't actually looked. I haven't had a chance to go on the PlayStation.
Not that I know of, but I haven't checked.
No. I wonder if they'll do that, because that seems the next logical step to me. Why wouldn't they?
I mean, with the PS5 interface, the fact you've got the switcher, that kind of says that you know it's kind of like a task manager tab thing. You can swap between stuff, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and we're not in the archaic days of the shitty PS3 UI and the slow performance of the dashboard on the PS4. The PS5, for all intents and purposes, is lightning fast in every aspect. You can go to the home screen, you can go back to the game 10 times in the space of one transition on the PS4.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me that you'd have a Discord app on the PlayStation so that you can open these cross-platform, group chats. The only thing I wonder is that would it really work with Xbox? Because is there a reason it's on PlayStation? Have they signed an exclusive deal? I haven't really looked much into it, but it'll definitely be on PC, because what PC doesn't have Discord?
I think it's more the case of back in the day. I think everybody just used to use Skype for gaming, and then TeamSpeak, and then Discord thought, hey, why don't we just have an actual chat room rather than just random audio things and a really clunky interface. And they've grown over the years with even people that play on consoles now use Discord to talk to their friends and stuff in game. People have found ways around it. And it's got
that's why I played Zombies. Played Zombies with a few of the boys through Discord.
Yeah. And I think this just makes it easier for everyone.
It's the biggest gathering of gamers. Like, oh, hey, you want to target a certain audience of gamers? Discord. That's where you need to go.
Yeah. And also, if you're using like LFTs, trying to find groups for raids like we used to with the Division, we'd usually find people on Discord. But now, if we can just talk to people on Discord and say, "I'll just hop into our room now," rather than going, "Oh, add you on PSN." I mean, yeah, if you find the right person, you'll add them on PSN so you can get into your group. At least you can talk to someone properly now.
Exactly.
Speaking of the Division, very, very quickly, before we wrap up for the third time, Division 2 content is on the horizon, it seems.
It is.
Or has been on the horizon.
Trying to over-level my gear again, I'm not going to lie. Since I have min-maxed or max-maxed everything now on it.
Yeah, I was pretty much maxed out when I dropped it, when we all dropped it. I've gone back to it briefly for a bit. We are expecting new content. We were expecting new content February. That's not going to happen. We're expecting new content soon. I know that in the next 2 weeks, there is private alpha/beta testing going on for new content. We don't know what it is. We don't know who's taking part in the test. Probably YouTube influencers. What do we think? Are we going to go back to it? Are we going to return to the Division 2 as a group together?
I mean, I want to.
I mean,
that'd be good. Yeah.
Do you want to, Kyle?
I would love to.
Me
Free
too.
time provided, etc. But yeah.
I just hope new content doesn't mean they're just going to do more of what they've been doing.
If it's new events, I'll be furious. Well, very, very quickly, 3 things you want from the new content, Barky. Go!
New raid. Let's go. Yeah. That's 101. New raid, new weapons. Yeah. Maybe even a level cap.
Interesting. What about you, Kyle?
Just a balance overhaul on everything.
Okay.
Don't make it so there's a meta. Make it so everything's usable. As in Division 1.
Yep.
And just stop knee-jerking reactions to, say, PvP weapons and armor and PvP. I get you have to separate PvP weapons and PvE, but just balance the lot and have done with it.
Okay, interesting. I want new raid, new gear, and I want a separation of PvE and PvP stats. I want PvP stats to be the same across the board, no matter what gun you use. I think PvP needs to be more skill-based. I think E just needs to stay not as it is, with fine tuning to update it and make it new for all players, returning players and new players. But I do think PvP just needs to be skill based. Make all the weapons do the same damage. Fire rates should matter, I guess, because then you've got a reason to select different guns.
But that's logical.
Same armor, same health, same power.
That's logical, so it'll never happen. But
that's true.
If it makes sense,
and they have released a few new craft things on it. Just saying.
Yeah, we got the mastery system coming in. We won't go into that because it's long-winded, and we can probably talk about that another time. Probably when the new content actually comes out. Looking forward to the mastery system is all I'll say. But that's it. Any closing comments, you two? Kyle, anything to say before we go?
No, just we'll have to see what the little reveal tonight is about. It's probably state of play. It's going to be nothing dramatic, I don't think. But
no,
here's some Horizon, here's some GT7.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to the state of play, but I'm not like as excited as I would be for other things. But Parky,
same here. Looking for that state of play. I'm looking for something left field. I'm hoping they're going to surprise us with something new.
Think we'll see any indie stuff, or is it just going to be?
I reckon we might see a couple of indie stuff, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Me too. I'm going to watch it. I'm hoping that the whole state of play isn't just going to be half hour worth of GT7.
I'm going to predict
GT7 is going to be bad.
PS5 Slim Edition.
Get out.
Let's go ultra slim because it is a beastie boy.
PS5 Pro confirmed.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be GT7, and I'm hoping for some third-party stuff just to see what's coming, even if it's reminders of what we've already been shown. But that's about it, I think. And I think that's where we can wrap it up for this week.
All right. See you guys in the next one.
Yeah. See you guys in the next one. Peace. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Always.
Bye-bye.